If you're going to trade a trader, would you trade that trader's trade? Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, live from the Xfinity Studio and presented by Benihana. Benihana, the official sponsor of Draft Week coverage here at DNVR Avalanche.
Dude, you know Benihana chefs can be like the funniest people in the world.
They can be.
I watched a whole TikTok of funny stuff that Benihana chefs have said while tossing shrimp into people's mouths. Very specific niche,
that is very specific.
It was so funny, dude. It was a wonderful 80 seconds of my life. It was so well spent. I wish the internet was like made it worth it more often.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much draft coverage we'll be doing today, but we are answering listener questions. It's a DNVR mailbag day. The vast majority of our questions are going to come from our diehards who got their questions. They get priority when you submit them in the Discord. We might answer a couple from Twitter as well, although most of the ones from Twitter got asked or similar asks from the people in the Discord.
A lot of them you could just lump into the same, like,
yeah.
What do? Who get?
That is accurate for a good number of the questions, I would say. Did we make these into graphics or no, Tiff? Hell yeah, let's go. I don't know what order you did them in. 100 day. That I don't like that countdown at all.
Do you see this flying
yeah,
around?
there's like two of them in here. It's first one coming up is from James, and he says, "Why is Minnesota considered a destination for trades and not Colorado?" We got a couple other questions that were similar-ish to this, but I think a lot of this is Bill Guerin runs Minnesota. The U.S. team won the Olympics. A lot of the U.S. guys want to play together because of that.
I would follow this up by saying, which guys have you heard want to go to Minnesota?
All the Team USA guys.
Because if it's a non-Team USA guy, then I think this is an interesting point, and it would be something that we could have a conversation about. But if it's not a Team USA guy, or if it is a Team USA guy, then there's your answer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you think it's any coincidence at all? Brady Tkachuk landed with his brother.
Nope.
Dylan Larkin wants to go play with guys that he got along really well with. Jack Eichel,
there, supposedly.
Connor Hellebuck. All of these guys want to go and play together after the Team USA thing, which makes me I've always been happy that Brock Nelson didn't apparently he wasn't part of Team Dickhead from Team USA. You never really know, right? You don't, but he hasn't been we haven't seen him connected in the same way with all the other guys.
Not actively creating his own podcast saying dumbass stuff, for
right?
Sure,
and then or going on the other ones saying dumbass stuff.
You're right.
I just feel like Brock Nelson's just like a dad who's just trying to win a cup.
Yep.
And he signed in Colorado and great, whatever. Anyway, And guys aren't trying to join Brock Nelson in Colorado, right? So it is, I don't know, kind of an interesting conversation, but I think it just comes down to what we saw with LeBron James and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, where they very clearly colluded and said, let's all team up over the summer and let's make a super team in the NBA a million years ago with the Heatles.
Yeah.
You're now we're seeing the NHL version of it where it's not trying to make a super team necessarily, just all these guys clearly want to play together. And I, for one, think it's very funny that Steve Yzerman has been like, nah, great, good for you,
fine,
yeah,
it's fine.
Oh, you're under contract for years.
Yeah,
you don't want to play for us, you won't. You can sit out. You won't get paid. That sucks.
Sounds like not my problem.
Yeah. You can make a choice. Dylan. Like,
we'll see.
I think that's been the funniest aspect of that whole that Yzerman is like, I'm not pressed about this at all. Which is the fear, right? Like that's what you're worried about when you make that trade request. You go in and you go, please.
Now what? Yeah.
I don't really have leverage here other than I'm just saying I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
But is the Team USA shine going to wear off in 6 months, 4 months when the season starts back up? And he goes back into the locker room and he's the captain and all those guys are like, oh, you're the guy that tried to bail on us over the summer?
Yeah.
The one who
Might be
couldn't
tough.
score in the last 40 games of the season and a huge reason why we didn't make the postseason last year? You're that guy, right? That's you? I think they're going to need... I really wonder if they're going to have a come to Jesus conversation like the Avs did with Val Nichushkin. Where it was like, you need to have a conversation with your teammates and be like, what's up?
Is it like that, or is it more like a Matt Duchene situation where that dude is just isolated until he gets out of there?
I wonder. That's a fair question, but I think that the Duchene thing, the team was trying to accommodate him. The team was just like, we're holding our guns here. Like we're not going to move.
Except for the right thing, yeah.
We're not going to move Matt Duchene for peanuts. We
Fair.
will outweight everybody. He is under contract for years.
They're obviously different. He didn't have the NMC that Larkin has.
Yeah. So, oh, he's not getting traded to a Canadian team.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
And then after that, where does he end up? Where do they find a deal? We'll see how serious it is.
It'll be an interesting.
This next one is very similar, so I'm just going to throw it up.
Yeah.
AM Halvey, why don't the Avs seem to be a destination team to the levels of Florida, Vegas, Dallas, etc.? I shortened this one. There was talk about the income tax and things like that we've talked about before on the show.
Yeah. I think you have to be completely naive to say that the tax situation plays no role.
It matters, but I think it matters less than some people think.
I think it matters, but it matters differently to every player. So we can't just wrap them up in a bundle and say it is X percentage of importance to everybody. Mm-hmm. It is a your mileage may vary type of thing. And it is something, it helps that all those teams are good. It is always a fair point when it's like, oh, before Bill Zito, Florida wasn't a destination. Like the Panthers weren't the destination. We weren't talking about their income tax status as a factor for them because they had been an incompetent organization for 25 years. Mm-hmm. But now they're good. Now they've got great ownership. There you go. And all of the Russian players especially want to live in Florida. A lot of Canadian players want to live in Florida. Great weather.
I think there's a couple of factors here. One, Colorado's never going to be a destination in the way cities like New York or LA are because of the popularity, the super city that, a lot of people want to go live and be part of the big city and do that. And then two, there's a lot of people that want to live on the coast. Pretty much every Russian player wants to live on one of the coasts. And beyond that is the winter stuff that you were talking about. Florida goes to a cup final. Players start kind of wanting to be there.
Yeah.
They make big moves. They win back-to-back cups. Players want to be there. Kind of the same way it was with Tampa.
Exactly.
I do think people underrate Colorado. I think there's a decent amount of players that don't mind Colorado or would be happy to go there. And then the other side of this is almost all players who come to Colorado love it here.
That's the it's not like when players go to Columbus, right? They're always surprised.
Yep.
Because it's sort of an anonymous NHL city.
Right.
Players come to Colorado. There's a history of success. The organization treats its players pretty well. The practice facility is a joke.
100%.
And it's like one of those things that when that gets fixed, their stock will go up.
One hurdle away, AJ.
Because, let's blame it on the city's politicians or whatever. Anyway, I think the reality is that there are so many factors that go into it, but if these teams weren't good, we wouldn't talk about it.
I think
there will be a cycle where Dallas isn't very good.
Yep.
In the mid 2010s, Dallas wasn't very good, and nobody cared.
And it was hard to drag players out there. Like,
yeah, nobody cared. They weren't a major player in a bunch of different things. It was whatever.
Yep.
Okay, great. When you're good, players want to play there. Do you think even the Team USA guys and Bill Guerin wanting to go to Minnesota, if Minnesota wasn't good, didn't have a Quinn Hughes, didn't have some star players that are hanging on that roster,
go?
They wouldn't be going there.
I mean, I think Dallas is a great example because they built into this era by becoming the retirement home. It wasn't like they were attracting a bunch of big name stars at the start of this successful run of hockey, right? They were trying to get by with like the Alex Radulovs of the world. And honestly, they did a great job of getting the best of these like 34, 35-year-old guys for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once you start making consistent conference finals and stuff, all of a sudden players are like, oh, well, maybe I could win there. And now I want to go there. They also have the no income tax thing. So
yeah. And Vegas obviously rolls into the league. They've made 3 Stanley Cup finals in 9 years.
Yep.
Like,
not hard to make that connection. Yeah.
Then there's also the tax situation. They're always competitive.
Yep.
And the taxes are favorable, and the weather, players like it. Like, I just don't think this is complicated. I just think for some reason, and I've seen it a lot over the last week in particular, Avs fans feel slighted by this.
Yeah. I think that's well overblown.
But it's like Colorado, Carolina, those are 2 teams that have won Stanley Cups, and these aren't conversations.
Nah.
Like we're not talking about, oh, well, they won because they've got all these advantages. Yeah, they're well-run organizations.
True.
When you're a well-run organization, players want to play for you. That was the big change when Bill Zito got hired and aggressive ownership took over in Florida instead of apathetic ownership.
Yeah.
That's just
works,
it, man. Like, I just think this is not a difficult thing. You're good, and you've got a couple of other things that are going for you. Players want to play there.
Do things that make people want to play for you. It's not that complicated.
Winnipeg won the President's Trophy last year. Did that make players want to play for them? No, because there were other factors.
Yep.
So you can't look at it and say all of those things are irrelevant. But Winnipeg is also kind of a unique, like, hellscape of a city.
Yeah. There's other context there. I do want to get to one more here before we go to our first break. So let's hit another question. How much tampering went on at the Olympics by Guerin and Zito with all these American guys wanting to go to those teams? Some, for sure. But
we can't definitively say that any happened, but I mean, you're looking at a direct line and going, oh, okay, all of these guys suddenly want out of their teams and want to go play together. Got it.
The big secret of every major sports league that has no tampering rules is that they're all tampering all the time.
Yeah, tampering happens constantly. It's so funny. When, like, we did, do you remember a couple years ago when we were in Vegas when we did that interview with Chris McFarland, and we would ask him about it, and he would be like, AJ, you know I can't talk about other players from other teams. And then you know that, like, he would get off of camera, not to talk to us, and then he would go and talk to his staff. And then he would be like, oh, hey, by the way, like, we're talking to this guy or that guy. You know, like, it's silly to think that every team in the NHL, or I guess, as you said, in every pro team sports
they're
league,
not talking to players all the time.
Tampering is just a thing.
Right.
It's just a thing. And at the Olympics, absolutely, it's like, oh, in the glow of winning this together, we did this historic thing together. Let's keep the band together as much as we can and go do this in the NHL. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tampering rules exist because they don't want this being public. No,
well,
like when you're so blatant about it and it's like, oh, they find out you're going to sign this guy on June 1st and he's a pending free agent. And it's like, now you have this awkward situation for the next month where he's getting paid by another team.
Yeah.
Like, it's more about that than it is actually preventing teams from talking to players.
It'll be fun in 25 years when one of these guys
spills the tea. Yeah,
gets all liquored up on a podcast and is like, let me tell you guys about Cortina.
Yeah.
Like it'll be great, but we're gonna have to wait for that.
Yeah. Well, someday we'll figure that out. For today, a lot more questions to get to, but we got to take our first break of the show. So let's shout out our sponsors. This is the Xfinity Studio, and, they're also sponsoring us with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that works together in perfect harmony and finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Maybe more importantly, it lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. And the best part is there's no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment comes included. It puts all your devices together on the same Wi-Fi, whether it be Internet of Things type stuff or your actual computers.
Could be vices too.
Could be vices. That's, what you do on the internet is your business as far as I'm concerned. But, maybe check out our show. You're watching this. You're good to go. Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won. Records are broken. Dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable. And the price should stay put. Lock in your Xfinity 5-year price guarantee today. Of course, select plans only and restrictions apply. But you can learn more at xfinity.com. Get your Wi-Fi all set up. Xfinity, imagine that. And once you have your Xfinity Wi-Fi set up, you're going to want to make sure you're getting yourself all checked out with Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers. Every 30 seconds, someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with cancer. That's 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women. Chances are you know someone, maybe a friend, a family member, or a coworker who's been affected. As the official sponsor of Denver sports fans, Rocky Mountain Cancer Center treats more adult cancer than anyone else in Colorado. You support your team, Rocky Mountain Cancer Center supports you. And when it comes to cancer, it's very important to be catching it early. That makes a lot of difference when it comes to the survivability. So you want to get in and get checked often. Or if you know someone who needs to get checked, maybe nudge them in the right direction to go to Rocky Mountain Cancer Center. Fighting for each other is what great teams and loyal fans like you do, no matter the opponent. And Rocky Mountain Cancer Center stands with hockey fans and all other fans across Colorado. Rocky Mountain Cancer Centers is the official sponsor of Denver sports fans, and you can head to RockyMountainCancerCenters.com to learn more and get yourself scheduled for an appointment to get checked out. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Yeah, we see the news about an announcement for the expansion stuff. Cool. We can talk about that tomorrow.
Do you remember when streaming, like early Twitch days?
Yeah.
And especially you and I being the SC2 guys.
Yeah.
When it was like Evil Geniuses would be like, here's our announcement of an announcement.
For a date to make an announcement.
And then it was like, we signed Idra. And you're like,
cool.
Okay, great. I can't wait for that guy to
rage quit again.
Yeah, rage quit a game he was winning. Oh, what an all-time great moment.
Next question, kind of in the similar vein we've been talking about. Luke from Winnipeg. A lot of American and Canadian markets have requested trades or been traded. Is this as simple as American players wanting to play in USA, or is it more to do with their team just going nowhere and players wanting to win? We kind of already talked about the first part of that.
Yeah, I think that this changed a lot in COVID. Players not being able to get to their families, players having to deal with the border suddenly became onerous instead of just like, yeah, come on, back and forth, no problem. And now the countries have like political tension between them, where if you're an American, wouldn't you prefer just to play in the United States right now?
Well, I think the other...
Just in case?
Sure. But the other part of that is what is drawing you to these Canadian teams? Okay, Montreal had an uptick this year. I could see players wanting to go there. Calgary's horrible.
Oh, yeah. Vancouver's horrible. Toronto can't get anywhere meaningful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Edmonton is in this weird spot where it's like...
Well, Edmonton has great players that you want to play with, and then they just hired a coach that a lot of people who's like they hate his guts.
There is some writing on the wall of how long one of those great players might continue to be there.
Yep. It's tough to make a long-term commitment until they do.
It's called the Ottawa zone, not the Calgary zone now.
Yeah. And their captain just bailed on them.
Right.
Which that's not I think that's a Brady Tkachuk thing and not an Ottawa thing.
Sure,
but
Montreal is the only one where you have positive vibes about like where the team is going, right? Like
Winnipeg won the President's Trophy and then nosedived to like 26th in the NHL or something. Like,
yeah.
And now they're talking about, are they going to trade Connor Hellebuck, you know, like that conversation is also not encouraging for a city that has a very hard time keeping guys in town. One of their best players in franchise history is now like inching his way out the door. So again, we're going to talk about taxes. Taxes are going to be important, right? Taxes for
That's
Canadian cities
true.
are higher.
Significantly more than a lot of U.S. cities.
And there's always, anytime we talk about taxes, there's always somebody that is like, okay, but you only pay taxes. You only pay taxes on the cities that you're in. So it's only half of the season.
It's away taxes.
It's still 41 games. I guess now it will now be 42 games.
That's true.
That's half of your season. That's a lot of game checks.
Well, and you get into this weird conversation too, where don't get me wrong, there are players that are very smart and understand their tax situations and do the numbers. But there are a lot of players that have a guy that does their taxes and he says, hey, if you go here, it'll save you money. And they just say, okay. They don't actually know the exact details of what no income tax means for their contract.
I have an accountant friend who DM'd me about this and said that he loathes this conversation. And I always wanted to bring him onto the pod to talk about it because I guess every state also has like a rich guy athlete tax where they don't pay the same number of taxes. Like they don't, like you look at a tax rate and it's not that simple.
Yeah.
There are ways around it. There are ways to shelter it. And so that I think is another aspect of this where it's not as simple as we think it is when it comes to how the money gets calculated. But certainly, again, jumping off of the conversation that we just finished, if the teams were really good, consistently good, a lot of players would go there. When Toronto was, in the midst of their 9 years making the postseason, a lot of players went there.
Yep. I mean, look at every team that's a perennial playoff team. They attract players that think one more piece will make this over the top or whatever it is. But a lot of questions to get to, so we do have to keep rolling here a little bit. Megadoink says, if you could redo an old draft pick, who would it be and who would you choose?
Oh, right off the top of my head, I would not take Connor Bleakley and I would take David Pastrnak. Next question.
Yeah, this is interesting because do you look at one like that, which maybe there's a realistic world where they could have taken Pasta, right? Or do you go into full hindsight as 2020 mode and let's pretend we went back in time and knew what was going to happen? Instead of Duncan Siemens, you could have took Nikita Kucherov.
Yeah.
Like
I was just going to ask you, would you have taken Kucherov over Landeskog just to get crazy?
Why not both? Kucherov didn't go to late second round.
Yeah, he was in the 50s, yeah.
So if you want omniscient knowledge, you can do some crazy stuff by redoing it instead of on draft day, was this realistically possible?
Another, a deeper cut, an old school one. You don't take Scott Parker and you take Scott Gomez.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what happens to the New Jersey dynasty?
And it's like, it's easy to be like, oh, Parker was only an enforcer, but that was a really important role during that era.
Every team had one.
The 01 Avs had 2.
Yeah. True. All right. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, you could also do the Kaprizovs. Like you go through and you're like, hey, take this guy, take this superstar. Right. That's who, like, pick a guy, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what I did. It's just one. I think it was one pick later. So
theoretically possible on draft day, not just hindsight at that point.
Not being like, hey, this guy from the 5th round that ended up being a superstar. Like, trying to stay on Earth.
Onyx says, what return do you think the Avs should go after in a Nuke trade? Player, picks, or both?
Well, it's a great question, and I think it's the question that the Avs are currently grappling with. But what team gives them the best offer, the best combination?
Yeah, it has to be one of two things, in my opinion. Now, it could be draft picks that end up getting flipped into another thing. Like
this is the problem.
There's a multi-part thing to this.
If the answer is draft picks, it is not to take them.
Right. You're wanting to make your roster at minimum different, if not better.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes a ton of sense to flip Nichushkin for another winger unless it's just a direct upgrade and then you're adding stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a world where you feel like you can get a similar winger for a cheaper cap hit and that frees up cap space. But I think the easiest thing to do is trade Nichushkin directly for, or for the assets to go get a top 4D?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you start ideally.
Yeah.
But which D?
Yeah, if you're getting into specifics, things get a lot harder. It turns out trades are hard in the NHL.
But like when you talk about wingers, there are some that you could dream on, right?
I mean, we had the Owen Tippett conversation in the Discord the other day.
Literally, I was just going to, because I hadn't looked at his cap hit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's a $5,000 difference.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple. Can we do? I know we have a lot of questions about this topic.
Yeah.
So do we want to just sort of
together.
lump
It's
an
fine.
answer
Yeah.
into this? Because we can talk about guys that we would like, guys that would make sense, guys
Sure.
that wouldn't make sense. For me, I want to start with Owen Power because it just got brought up in chat, and I'm out on the Owen Power conversation. Just a not smart hockey player, very toolsy, not smart.
I mean, I think I'm out on all of the Buffalo defenders except for Dahlin, which obviously they're not going to move. So
I mean, I would take Matthias Samuelsson, but they won't do that.
Right.
For me, I'm out on Power because I just super toolsy, and I don't buy it. I don't buy him as a real impact guy. When he's on, he rocks. There's no getting around. The good days of Owen Power are really good.
How much have we talked about what the Avs are targeting should be stability on their defensive side right now?
Yeah.
Because you run into the issues of too many guys who on their best day look great, but on their worst day are a problem.
Yeah. And that's PS.
Every NHL player. Yeah. If you aren't that guy, you're really, really, really good.
Yeah. Or you suck all the time.
That's also fair.
Yeah. Adam Pelech would be amazing, but the Islanders have shown them they are trying to win with this group, and Adam Pelech is a huge part of that. Otherwise, I mean, that's a dream answer for me. And to go back to it would be funny to go back to the Islanders and be like, all right, we're
2
pilfering.
seconds. What can I get for 2 seconds?
How can we give you Nichushkin in 2 seconds? Well,
They don't even have 2 seconds to give.
you can get trade 2029 picks now.
That's okay. So the 28 and 29 seconds.
27.
Is it 27?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
27 and
Sure.
29 seconds.
Yeah.
Let's go. Did you see the NBA trade yesterday, the Giannis deal?
I did not.
Their picks got traded in 2033.
So let's see. That kid would be 11 right now.
What?
An 11-year-old essentially just got traded.
Yes. New Jersey would very much like to get rid of Dougie Hamilton. No, he does not in any way
makes
make
no
sense
sense
for the Avalanche.
Yeah.
A Caden Goulet or a Mason Lohrei are fun options. Mason Lohrei, he's an interesting one.
I know you think he's soft as hell, but I really like
Well,
him.
the thing is, I really like him. He is soft as hell.
Which I think is fine.
There's a reason he got scratched in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's a healthy scratch. As a 6'5" defender with puck moving ability.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because he's too easy to play against. He's soft.
I think that's fair.
He's so soft.
I don't-
He's Andrei Kuzmenko.
I just
soft.
don't know that that's a problem. for the
It is
Avs.
for me.
Sure.
Because I don't want to get into the postseason and then have another conversation where the Avs lose and go, they're too soft. They got bullied. I'm sick of the conversation. If they're going to go down, I want them to go down headbutting dudes on the way out.
Sure.
I want them to go down eating hearts out and
The
just be
Avs
like,
need at
they
least-
left it out there.
The Avs need at least 2D this offseason, though. And you can target that in the other one if you wanted.
It's fair.
And
Like a Lohrei Manson third pairing makes sense.
yeah.
It's just that the player and he's young enough that you'd be going, I want him for a long time.
For sure. It'd be a commitment.
And then you're saying, with Makar, Malinsky, and Lohrei, I don't want to call Makar soft because he's not. He's just not heavy.
He's not a guy that people are scared to go into the corner with, right?
And he will
Like,
occasionally light a dude up.
for sure.
But okay.
But no one's getting on the ice and being like, I'm about to get blown up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just out. If Caden Goulet was truly available, I would be doing whatever to get that done.
Would love that.
I would be doing whatever to get that done. That's the perfect guy.
Unlikely to be available.
Right. And that's like, he's so valuable that there's no way the Habs are going, yeah, we can live without this guy, right?
I feel like this is the problem with us doing a mailbag this time of year, because everyone's like, here's my hopes and dreams guy. And we have to sit here on the show with 90% of those guys and be like, same, but no.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's fair.
We do need to take our second break of the show, and then we'll get into many, many more questions. Look, we're getting into the off season now, so if you're a regular listener of this show or really any DNVR show, we want to hear from you. Take a short survey and let us know what you love and how we can do better. And you'll have a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card when you do. Obviously, if you are a follower of us, then you are someone with great taste. You know, clearly we're existing and the best and totally not lame. For sure. Or at least you're watching us, so you probably don't think we're lame. Or maybe you're a hate watcher. We want to hear from you guys too. Whatever opinion you have, you can go to thednvr.com/survey today and get signed up. And if you're watching us, you can scan the QR code on screen right now to get to that survey. It only takes about 3 minutes, and your feedback helps shape the future of what we do here. So you can get in with that. Let your voice be heard. Take the survey today. Scan the QR code or go to thednvr.com/survey. That's dnvr.com/survey. And once you set yourself up with a survey and a chance to win that gift card, make sure, again, that you're taking care of your health by going to Common Spirit Health. They're more than just hospitals and clinics. They're a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being, woven into the very fabric of your community. Whether it be sports injuries or just regular checkups or anything else in between, they've got you covered. From preventative care to advanced surgical solutions, their skilled physicians and caring staff are here for you, offering personalized treatment tailored to your unique needs. You can expect a blend of cutting-edge technology with a commitment to human kindness at their 20 hospitals and 240 clinics and care sites right here in Colorado. Go get with them. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. You can trust Common Spirit to deliver exceptional care close to home. And, of course, Common Spirit Health is an official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, brought to you by Benny Hanna. Next question. The homie Eddie says, what would you be willing to give up for a Shane Wright? Would it be worth it for the Avs to pursue?
Yeah.
If he's actually available, yes. The Avs should pursue someone like Shane Wright. What you give up is a great question.
Yeah. I think you have to give up it. It'll depend on a couple things. You need Seattle to try to convince themselves that they're trying to win right now. That they look at their shitty ass division.
I mean,
and
given
they
the contract they just gave Bobby McMahon.
Well, and Bobby McMahon and the package they gave up for Mackie Samoskevich,
yeah.
Like they are looking for that, right? No pun intended. With Shane Wright, they would need to replace the center. So you're probably saying Brock Nelson.
Yeah. Well, it would have to be one of Nelson or Kadri, and you end up with Shane Wright in this 2.5C situation with one of them.
Jack Drury and Nick Waugh aren't going to get
It's not enough value
there. Yeah. And Brock Nelson, why would he approve the deal there?
Because he has NTC stuff.
Yeah. His movement, his trade protection would allow him to say, no, thank you.
Yeah. Which he would to Seattle.
Why wouldn't he? And it just doesn't like where does he fit? Yeah, I still love the player. I still believe in the player long term. But if you were doing that, wouldn't you just try for Matty Beniers?
Yes.
And I guess the difference is that you know what Matty Beniers, you have a good idea of him in the NHL. And Shane Wright, you're still. I mean, his value is still mostly in potential.
Right. That's more of who is Seattle trying to get rid of in this scenario.
Yeah,
because they're going to keep one of them and not the other.
So I think that I love the idea of it. It just where the teams are, the assets, the trade protection, the money, all of those things.
It's hard.
It just doesn't really make sense. You're talking about two teams that would have to work really hard to try and make something fit, and even then,
probably not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not going to get. The front offices could come together and figure the whole thing out, and one guy could go, nope. And that's the end of that.
It's just too hard to predict because you end up in these very complicated situations because of what you said, right? Okay, you move Brock Nelson to Minnesota for a bunch of assets that then you flip to Shane Wright.
Jonas Brodin.
Yeah, sure. But you end up in it becomes this multi-part deal of like 17 different things have to fall into place, and it's just really, really hard to get that done.
This is where I go back to the Val Nichushkin. You move Val Nichushkin to Ottawa for 9th overall.
And then you dangle that thing in front of the NHL.
You
and say,
use
what
9th overall
boys?
and say,
yeah,
now I want something.
I'm all the way down for that.
Yeah, I'm working on a Val Nichushkin piece that I hope to have out today, but it might be tomorrow morning, depending on if I'm able to focus. My brain is kind of all over the place. That would be like an ideal outcome because 9th overall would have value and you'd be able to get a pretty good, probably a defenseman, not Shane Wright. It would be really funny to give them that's their pick.
It is.
Because they traded that to Florida for Sam Sakic.
Yep.
Then that went to Ottawa. And then have 9th overall get moved 3 times. And it ends
Back
up with
home,
the original owner in
Stuff
a
like that
week.
happens, yeah.
It would be pretty funny.
All right, keep it rolling. Hayden says, what is your best guess on Jack Drury's trade value? So we're swatting flies out here.
Yeah. Best guess. It's just a guess. I really don't have a good feeling for it. But I think the smartest way to get maximum value out of that is you combine him with Val Nichushkin.
Sure. I just don't think a trade where he's the primary piece is a particularly big trade.
Like, if I'm an NHL organization looking at the Avalanche going, all right, I'm going to try and poach this guy. What can we get? Like, what do we have to give up? It's probably just a 2nd round pick.
Yeah,
and I say just, but I think it's a 2nd round pick. Maybe you could do one of those, like a 2nd and a 4th where the Avs send back a 3rd. Like,
just unnecessary complication.
Exactly. Like just a 2nd.
It's really hard for me to see Jack getting more than a 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know everyone's going to, well, Nick Waugh got a 1st at
maybe
the
a 2nd and a 5th.
But Nick Waugh is a proven NHLer significantly more so than Jack Drury is. Not that Jack Drury's bad. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, Waugh is a better player.
Yeah. And again, if you're the Avalanche and someone's offering you for a 2nd for Jack Drury, you kind of need a plan in place of what you're doing with that 2nd if you're going to make that move.
You don't want to turn around and move and just take the pick.
Right.
That doesn't feel good at this point in where your organization is the 53rd overall pick or whatever, like really, and you're going to wait on it. Like then you end up with the next Sean Barons where you're like, yeah, this is a good prospect. It was a good pick.
Doesn't help us right now,
good prospect who's like working his way through the system and we'll see. And now you're looking at it going, okay, well, Sean Barons is almost done everything that he needs to do to start to break into the NHL, but now you're not going to want to give him that job because you want veterans. So you keep running into the same wall because you put yourself into an organizational feedback loop here that provides a hard stop for these kids.
Yep.
So why take the pick?
I wouldn't.
So that's why if you have a 2nd round pick, combine that thing. You combine that thing, you maybe put it with Val Nichushkin, you put it with the 2nd rounder you have next year. And now you're going to getting a defenseman, and that's the whole point of this.
You judge it all by what you end up with.
It's that's the whole point of this.
Yeah. All right.
So that's my best guess. If it's an NHL player, I really don't know.
I don't. It feels like a weird player to direct swap unless it's in a multi-piece thing with Nichushkin or something like that.
Just a straight up player for player. Yeah. I'm like, maybe there's an unsigned RFA for another team that would make sense that I just haven't thought of, but okay.
Next one from Speed Limit who says, if you could change one thing about one Avalanche player, what would it be?
I read this last night, this morning, when you sent these in, and I thought, this is a really hard question.
It is.
My first answer, without any thought to it at all, was make Sam Malinsky 6'4".
Sure. Always a easy one to go with the size conversation. I'd say the same thing about Gavin Brindley, but.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard to say Like, what can I change about them? Is it literally anything?
Right.
Is it hockey related only?
And I can only do one thing.
Yeah.
Like, can I make a guy a better goal scorer?
Right. Like
what? We're talking about Val Nichushkin. Make Val Nichushkin a 30-goal guy.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Every year, I mean, not like he's on pace for it. Like he stays healthy.
Right. Actually can do it consistently.
Can I make Arturi Lehkonen never have another injury?
That'd be cool.
Like, can I make him indestructible? He's still susceptible to aging, but indestructible. No more injuries for him.
Can I make Nathan McKinnon a 5-time Stanley Cup champion on the Colorado Avalanche?
Yeah. I want to live through that, though. I want to live through those 5 cups.
Yeah.
The next, I want to live through the next 4 cups.
Sure.
Math.
I don't know if we gave a great answer there, but we can keep going.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's just so tough,
Yeah.
right?
What is the biggest hole in the Avs lineup at the moment, and who are your top players to fill the roles?
All right, now this is my shit.
Before we get into the holes, like mechanically, my favorite word, they need 2 defensemen.
Yeah.
Like literally just they need players on their roster. They need 2 defensemen for their NHL roster.
Oh, they need 3.
Well, 2 makes 6. You need 7,
So,
but yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right.
the answer to filling those holes could well just be Brett Kulak and Nick Blankenburg. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that's good, but it could be the answer.
I just, my response was 100% about the money involved
I
in
understand.
keeping them,
I
not the
understand.
players. You know, I like both players.
Yeah. But certainly that's the biggest hole in the lineup this second. And like, if the Avs didn't do a single thing at forward, I'm not saying that I would like it, but they could get by.
Yeah.
You just drop Gavin Brindley into the lineup, and then you have a 12th forward spot that you don't love is someone like a TJ Hughes or something like that in a camp battle. But
Okay, but counterpoint, the second half of the question of who do you like to fill that job? I have better answers for the wing spot than I do for the defense.
the defensive free agent class is heinous, man. Like,
it's like, if I'm only looking at I mean, the guys that I really want, I looked into Ryan Shea over the weekend.
Sure.
And I was going through some of it. So many red flags. There were so many red flags in that profile that made me like bonkers nervous.
yeah,
We're back to Parker Witherspoon.
sure.
He'd be the guy, man. Like,
I'm down.
want that guy.
I'm down for
He's
that.
the perfect fit. He's big. He's got a nasty streak in him. He can play. He played next to Erik Karlsson last year. So we got an idea of what it would look like to see him next to Cale Makar. And then we know Taves Malinsky popped off.
Yep.
The answer might be the best player to fill the job for your second lefty is Devon Taves.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've kind of rounded up the conversation of you need a top 40.
Yeah.
Whether that's to play next to Makar or
Yeah.
Malinsky or whatever.
However you end up aligning it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. So Witherspoon is my favorite. If we're talking third liner, it's like a third line wing, my favorite is Oliver Bjorkstrand. Had a disastrous season.
Buy low, baby.
If you're sharp and you already went and read the piece that I wrote about this exact topic.
P.S. Multiple people asked the question about buy low candidates.
Yeah.
Go read that.
Yeah, I have a lot. I listed 10 reclamation projects. I even cut a couple. Bjorkstrand was one of my favorites, and I did a deeper dive on him than all the other guys as to why I'm buying stock on him.
Yep.
Patrick Laine is another one that deeply, deeply, deeply flawed player. And you wonder,
But
oh
you
my
put
God.
him in a good situation.
Yeah. If this doesn't go well, do you just have a circus on your hands?
Maybe.
Yeah. And that's another one of the things that you're
Downsides,
worried
yeah.
about. But you look at the upside and you go, what if you get a 30-goal guy out of him? It's pretty easy to just what if, right? I love to dream on a guy.
If everything goes great, then everything's great.
And that's the whole thing with a reclamation project is that you look at it and you go, Well, this is what the dream is, that the upside of it, he lives up to the upside, the potential of the move, and it all goes very well.
Yep.
So the answers on the wing right now are a lot easier than the answers on defense. The answers on defense, they're going to have to get creative, and it cannot be $5 million for Mario Ferraro as like the only person
$3 million
in the Mario Ferraro like fan club. That it cannot be that cannot be the answer.
Price is a problem for the Avs.
If the Avs are moving out salaries so that they can give Mario Ferraro a big contract, you're not going to see a good version of me on free agency day.
Not getting value.
July 1st is going to be in one long AJ rant.
I mean, it might be that anyway, but we do need to pause here because it is Tuesday, in fact, and you know what that means.
Happy Taco Tuesday again from DNVR. This is different. First off, it looks incredible. It smells incredible.
Bust this open.
These are fajita street chalupas. I mean, we got real cilantro on here. Little onion garnish. Yeah, the sauce.
This thing is thick. 2 C's.
Pause.
2 C's.
The sauce is already smelling and giving
Yes.
me like
Smells
quesadilla sauce
delicious.
vibes. Yeah. You ready?
The most mouth-watering street chalupa remix yet, brother.
I'm going in, Scotty,
Let's
if you
get
want
in.
to tell them about it.
Let's go, man. I'm going no sauce because I got to get the real first. You feel me?
Yep. They
Wow.
did it again.
Wow.
You got a double tortilla wrap. You got some slow roasted chicken. I mean,
Chicken's fire.
some
all the
onions in there.
flavors
Oh,
in there.
jalapenos too. Talk
What a
about
treat.
hooking
Did
it up
it
again.
Final period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast on a mailbag day, brought to you by Benihana. Let's keep going. Max says, what is the solution to the power play? Different personnel, better set plays, stop being stubborn. I don't think you're going to particularly get a lot out of my answer to this one, but the answer is accountability.
Oh, I was going to say all the things that were suggested in there work for me.
Sure. The thing is,
Those all tie back to accountability.
with the Avs power play, this personnel has had a good power play on this team less than 3 years ago. So we know they can do it. We know there's a good power play in there.
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of the people that want to pretend that the power play has been this like long running problem for the last 5 years. It's not true.
It's been a year and a half.
Yeah. You and I both have agreed 18 months is kind
December
of when,
of 24 is when it really
when you looked
fell
at it,
off
you
a
went,
cliff. Yeah.
oh man, this has hit a wall.
Yep. Actual accountability, I think, is the number one thing. You cannot let Nathan MacKinnon continue to just murder your own power play. There has to be some responsibility taken for when it's bad from him.
And if we're being honest, you and I have hammered away at this, that when the power play was at its worst, the puck was running through MacKinnon all the time.
Yep.
But when the power play was at its best, he was just a conduit.
And you have an active
He was one of the guys.
answer of the one time it's looked pretty okay on this stretch was Marty Necas on the half wall.
And it was solid.
Yep.
It wasn't incredible. It was solid. And Necas on the half wall with the one-timer, with the vision, with the passing, that's been good. MacKinnon down low, there's
been some creativity there. Yeah.
It bore a little bit of fruit. Still the best thing to do would be to move him around.
Agree.
So you move him around a little bit and not just have him in one static location. You get closer to what Edmonton does.
Yep.
And then, frankly, like Cale Makar play better.
Score goals.
Like just
That'd be
play a
cool.
little bit better.
Don't go 60 games without a power play goal, please.
He was so blah on the power play last year.
Yep.
And it was a reminder that superstars are people too, because how in the God's green earth does Cale Makar go through a stretch where he lacks confidence? But it's
yeah.
exactly what it looked like.
It was.
He just looked like he didn't believe in what he was doing.
Yep.
And statistically speaking, I went and checked. He didn't miss more shots. He actually put more on goal. They just weren't going in.
Yeah. Got to find a way to make him go.
Yeah. And we talk about the complete lack of like the easy backdoor goal.
For sure. The Avs struggled with rebound collection frankly have for a long time.
But this is one reason, like we talked about when we were talking about the Patrick Laine thing, it gives you a reason to put the second unit out there.
Yeah,
and you let that guy go out there and be a turret.
And just launch bombs.
Yeah. And if he ends up being like, it ends up going well, then you put him on your top unit and you kind of move guys around.
And I don't want to give the Avs a pass, but the backdoor goal stuff, like, surely a statistical anomaly, the number of wide open nets that the puck just skips over their stick or they can't quite connect on.
Yeah, they need to do a better job at cashing those.
Yeah,
and whether that's Nichushkin, Nelson, Landeskog, it doesn't really matter.
Guy,
Lehkonen, all of those guys have to do a better job around the net. One reason why I really liked the idea of, or I don't want to say really liked, I'm open to the idea of a guy like an Andrei Kuzmenko. Soft, probably the softest player in the NHL, but he's really got really good hands right around the net, and he does a good job in that area. They could use a guy that does a little bit of that.
All right.
At a high level, not because all their guys are like solid at it. They need a guy that's good at it.
Next question. C6, if you were on a deserted island, would you rather have a spear and have to fight off 100 coconut crabs that appear at random times, or a shotgun with 10 rounds but have to fight off 5 hyenas who have chlamydia?
Give me the coconut crabs and let's move on.
Definitely the hyenas.
It has been 15 years of this dude asking me these questions.
I want the hyenas.
It was 10 yesterday, and he said it's been longer than that. He's right. It has been way longer than that. I'm going with 15 years of putting up with these questions.
I'm way too out of shape to kill 100 crabs, all right? Hyenas, one shot, one kill, or I miss and they kill me, and we're done. That's it.
This is like the kindergartner conversation. How can you take it? Yeah, the how many kindergartners can you take? They get released in waves of 5. You're in an empty room. They just spawn in. 5 show up. Like how long until you finally succumb to the pressure?
How much prep time do I get?
None. Let's go. Clear out the room right now, and 7-year-olds just start spawning. Those aren't kindergartners. Those are bigger. But anyway.
Kindergarten's like 5.
I don't know, dude. The 2 people without parents, we don't have any idea.
All right, next question.
So mad you picked that.
They came from the Discord. I have to by law.
Don't reward that.
Hawkeye says, now that we've had some time and can objectively look back on the Vegas series, how much of it was the Avs just sucking and how much of it was Vegas making the Avs suck? It is, of course, always both.
Yeah, it is a lot of both. I've gone back and I've rewatched games 2 and 3 in particular. Game 4 didn't matter, in my opinion.
The Avs didn't give a shit at that.
And game 1, I felt like they just
weren't very good.
Yeah, they just lost. Like they got down 3-0, and when they got down 3-0, it was like they've clearly been the worst team.
Yep.
So I went back and rewatched games 2 and 3, and I don't think that it was Vegas doing anything really special. Yes, they did a good job of shutting down Colorado's rush game, but Colorado was a top 3 cycle team in the NHL this year. That they should have been fine.
Yeah.
And then I thought that they were still fine on the cycle. Their shot selection wasn't good. They would try and make an extra pass when they had an open look. They just didn't stress Carter Hart as much as they should have. We saw what happened in the final.
Off a cliff when he does get stressed.
Yeah, he got pushed, and the guy snapped in half. And you look at the series and you look at the numbers against Colorado, but the numbers against Anaheim were really good as well. But he got stressed in that series, and he just played great.
Yep.
He did not. The end result was kind of like Scott Wedgwood against LA, where the numbers looked great, but you were like, the guy just wasn't
didn't have to
tested
do
that much.
Yeah.
I don't ever. These questions are hard because I always feel like I'm taking credit away from Vegas,
and that's not what we're trying to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Vegas earned the series win. They were the better team. They whatever.
Swept them.
Yeah, like come on, dude. I could hammer away at it was 4 1-goal games as much as I want, but they got swept. That means you're not making plays in any of those games when you need at the end. So I think that there was a lot of Colorado failure because the big thing for me is go back and say who played well in that series.
Ross Colton.
Yeah, Ross Colton, Gabe Landeskog,
End of list.
Brett Kulak. Those are the three. Those are the 3
Sure.
guys whose series I actually really liked. Mackenzie Blackwood,
For the
I guess.
portion of it that he played.
Yeah. So that to me doesn't sound like a Vegas thing. Did Vegas make the entire team play like shit? No. It's one thing when like Nathan McKinnon goes nuclear and there's just not enough help around him, right? But who played well? You're not looking at any of them. Brock Nelson, we would be talking about this so differently had Brock Nelson actually scored a goal because he did a good job generating chances
but none
for
of them
himself.
went in. Not a single one went in.
For himself. Not good at generating for others. For himself, he was there.
Yep.
You just got to score goals, man.
Yeah. I don't disagree. We have more questions in low time, so.
Yeah, let's go.
Mason says, what's the biggest sleeper move you can see happening this offseason for both Avs or Eagles to help next season?
The Eagles will be the next Jack O'Shawn, Matthew Phillips, TJ Tynan, whatever quad A guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, definitely. For the Avs, it's the list of reclamation guys. You know, one of my favorite reclamation guys is Ville Heinola.
Don't get me started. I love Heinola.
That's why you and I are there. Like, have that guy come into your camp and fight for the 6-7 job. Just
go to Family Sports Center somewhere around August 26th and go see the guy you don't recognize on the ice, and that's the sleeper move.
Yeah. No, I love the idea of Heinola. I also really like Declan Carlisle. Those are both two guys that I think could help the bottom of that defense in a meaningful way. It might be upgradable. Like, you might look at it and go, oh, well, that spot's, we're trading for a guy at the deadline. But through the first 50 games, either one of those guys would really help on that, alongside Josh Manson on your third pairing.
Cheap guy you like. That's the option. Keep going. Gru says an unlikely but potential possible trade you could see.
Val Nichushkin for the 9th overall pick. It would have to be like Nichushkin plus.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be straight up.
Of course.
Like, that's not going to... If a player of Nichushkin's caliber was worth the 9th overall pick, everybody would be trading those guys.
Yeah.
So, no, give me a Nichushkin Drury package to Philadelphia for Owen Tippett and something.
A defenseman.
Yeah. And something. I don't know.
Sure. I'm down. So hard to gauge trades.
Well, and what's an unlikely one, but one that you could see happening? I could see tons of things happening. Lots of things could make sense. You just got to get all parties involved to say yes.
Yeah, it's just so hard to look into the future on something like that.
Like, Kirill Marchenko is apparently on the block if people want to talk about that. And who says no? Val does. He's not going to want to go to Columbus.
Yeah. Same reason he's not going to want to go to Ottawa.
Rudo, stop.
Keep going. Brady says, thoughts on the Goatheads being the ECHL affiliate?
Love it. I was also
cool.
early on that, so I get to be proud of that story for a long time.
It's fun. This is how you grow the game, is by putting teams in cities that aren't traditional hockey markets or really have had any hockey really in New Mexico.
Also, how you create a cultural, now that there's a cultural with Vegas and Utah, I get to say cultural a few more times.
The Four Corners area.
Yeah, they have competition. The Avs have competition for the area, and putting a team there and an affiliate there just strengthens those ties.
Agreed.
You want to own that area, own that map.
More. Razzie says, do you feel more confident with Sakic back as GM than McFarland? Also, just thought it was funny that the first trade that happened, that was Avs Nashville.
This is not going to be a popular answer. I feel a lot less comfortable. Sakic doesn't do the day-to-day things that McFarland did. McFarland's a true grinder.
Yeah.
Sakic, and this is no offense, like, if you were Joe Sakic, wouldn't you be playing a ton of golf and just kind of hanging? And now he's thrust back into the day-to-day action of it when it's not something that the Avalanche didn't want this to happen. They made a big play to keep Chris McFarland. So I feel less confident at the moment.
I don't know that I certainly don't feel more confident, but I don't know that I feel less confident because, again, the Avs front office is a unit. Yeah. There are lots of guys that are still doing the same things they were doing.
This is a fair point. It's just putting him in that position a month before free agency and the draft.
It's a tight spot for sure.
You're really going to have to lean on your front office heavily in that situation.
Next. G-Berg says the Canes were mold breakers in a way that they didn't have the traditional elite pillars of a true 1C, 1D, etc. in roster construction / asset management. What lessons can teams learn from the Canes' run?
Big balls. Make big moves and then hope that all of your guys step up in the exact right moment.
Play well when they need to play well.
Did anybody think that a year ago that Jordan Stahl was going to win the Conn Smythe.
Brandon Bussey was going to be winning you a Stanley Cup. Yeah.
Like, everything went their way. Like, their guys stepped up. That's the difference in the Stanley Cup winner every year. But, and again, this is absolutely no offense or to take anything away from them. Is anybody going to be surprised when those guys turn out to be the one-hit wonder like the St. Louis Blues or Washington Capitals or maybe Colorado Avalanche? Is anybody going to be surprised when that your best players aren't your best players and you still win a Stanley Cup?
Not regular.
That the lesson to be learned is make plays, baby.
Are in overtime here. The conversation continues online at thednvr.com. I have no idea how many more questions we have.
2.
Cool. Let's do one of them right now. Spence says, since the prospect and draft pick cupboard is still somewhat barren, how can the Avs trade roster players away and still improve on a Western Conference final / Stanley Cup final caliber team?
That's a great question, first off. But the number one thing is that they move a guy like Nichushkin for an impact defenseman.
Again,
get better at the areas that you need to get better at.
Right. It might not necessarily be about raising the entire level of your team. Mm-hmm. It's about moving around and getting better in areas that balance you a little bit better.
It's like when you're playing chess and you kind of strategically realign the board. Pieces may not be.
Yeah, I've ever been good enough at chess to do that.
Okay, pieces may not be going on or off the board every single move, but you are making moves to put you in a better position to win long term. That's kind of where the Avalanche are at right now.
Why I always cast alongside.
If this is. You're one of those, huh?
No.
Those guys are assholes. If you were to move Nichushkin and just saying, we're just in this world.
Sure.
For like Witherspoon. You end up, no Nichushkin, but you end up with Witherspoon. Yep. But then you sign Bjorkstrand. And Bjorkstrand gives you 45 points and 22 goals.
Yep.
Right around his averages over the last 7 years.
Sure.
Not counting last year. The 7 years before last year's disaster. You're pretty much in the same spot that you were in with Nichushkin. You're going to be a little worse defensively at forward, but much better defensively on defense.
Yep.
Do you think that gives you a better chance?
I mean,
I like those odds. I will take that chance.
When you
if
look
I
at
knew that outcome today, I would say yes.
Complete systemic collapse of your middle defense, that being Malinsky and Burns specifically, just absolutely falling apart in that Vegas series.
Yeah.
It's not hard to see how you become a better team by cementing that position a little bit more.
Yep. And so I think that's your big goal. That's what you need to. That's where you need to be focusing on.
Yep, I'm good with that.
That's how you get a little bit better. It's not going to be 4 $1 million deals that all become home runs for you.
All right, last question. Craig says, if I get permanently banned from the DNVR bar, can I stay in the Discord?
I wanted to know what the catalyst for this question was, but also knowing that it's Craig, I don't know that I actually do want to know. I was gonna fly right by this one.
Look, as far as I know, if you get banned from the DNVR bar and you can't be linked back to your Discord account, how could we ban you?
Yeah, we don't really ban people very often
unless you do something real dumb.
You've really got it. You look at our ban list, and almost all of them are like, oh yeah, or bots.
Bots get banned. That's fair.
Bots get banned.
All right.
Do you want to speed run these?
Sure.
I think we can.
Are certain players turned off by max competitiveness? Probably, but those dudes probably you don't want on a team competing for a Stanley Cup.
Yep.
A question in case there's time for more later. Do you think if Bucky gets traded and the Jets become bad for a few years, Winnipeg is at risk of relocation to a bigger market? Unlikely, I would say.
I would disagree. I would say the lack of an NHL caliber arena really hurts them. Where are they going to put it? I don't know what's going on with that situation. Them playing in an AHL barn is tough.
Sure.
And the question was, if they get bad, their ownership threatened them a year ago.
That's fair.
I guess 2 years ago now. 2 years ago, the ownership threatened those fans.
I did not consider the ownership definitely fair there. From a fan standpoint, though, I don't really think they have the fan problems that other relocated teams have had over the years.
Yeah, but it should not be hard to fill a 12,000 seat arena.
You're not wrong. But we're talking about teams like Arizona that at times were averaging like 6,000.
Yeah.
Atlanta that was averaging nothing.
You have bad ownership.
Yeah.
People turn on you.
Right. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe if that team
just
gets
how it
bad
is.
for half a decade, the fans go away. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Taylor McCarr, what's the outlook on him? Career AHLer or could
Yep.
crack an NHL roster as a fourth liner at some point in the next 2 years? I think he's a career AHLer.
I do too, and I think that even that's a huge win given where he was.
Yeah.
But also a guy that I don't want to completely write off because he's just gotten a little bit better every year for like 7 straight years.
You never know. I also think that he wouldn't have the number of NHL games he has if his last name wasn't McCarr.
I don't know. I'll blow past that. I don't know that I agree, but I also don't know that I disagree. I just don't know how I feel.
I don't know that it.
I think he's a career AHLer though. I just the skill level isn't quite there, but I like the skating and I like the size and I like his aggressive play style. But
Even if you really like him and think he can be an NHLer, it's going to be really hard for him to crack the Avs lineup consistently because they have these commitments to guys like Parker Kelly, to guys like Logan O'Connor.
It's
Like,
tough at the bottom of that lineup right now. You go who, and if they sign Jack Drury, now not that him playing right, but it keeps Parker Kelly on the wing, which keeps him in front of those guys. So
last one is the one we get all the time: hot dog sandwich or taco.
it's a hot dog. Thanks. Well played. We can just go.
Probably because I smacked it.
Yeah, you did beat it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he whacked it.
Yeah, a hot dog is a hot dog.
Yeah, a hot dog is a hot dog. It's an entirely different entity.
Corn dog's a calzone, though.
No, it's not. It's a corn dog. It's an entirely different entity. Why the fuck do people do this?
Yeah.
All right, it's working.
We are going to get out of here for the day, but you know all the good stuff, where to find us. Like, subscribe, consider becoming a diehard, all that good stuff. Draft coverage coming up. Should be fun times, even if the Avs don't. Well, I mean, hopefully they trade some of those picks instead of using them, but we'll see.
If they make that, what is it, the 74th pick, 76th
the
pick?
third they got, yeah.
I'm going to be pissed.
Anyway,
Move it.
we'll be back tomorrow. I forget what we're doing tomorrow, but we're doing something. We hope to see you there. And that's it. This has been the DNVR Avalanche Podcast presented by Benny Hanna.
We all silly like the mayor.